Please be advised this podcast features AI cloned voices created with human oversight. All content is reviewed by experts for accuracy and relevance. Welcome, everyone, to the IADS Retail Park. I'm Maya, and today's topic is one that's been sending tremors through every corner of the industry. How do we make retail careers attractive again?
Hi, Maya. Thanks for having me back on the Retail Park. I'm Christine, Head of Markets and Events at IADS. I couldn't agree more. This question comes at a pivotal moment for our industry, and in fact, it's especially relevant given the findings from our 2021 research on how retail employment is evolving. Our study really highlighted just how much retail work and expectations have changed in just the past few years.
Christine, let's start with context. The numbers you and your team have gathered really drive home just how big a crossroads retail is facing.
That's right. We all know retail is huge, especially in America and Europe. In the US, 32 million people work in retail, making it the largest private sector employer. But between March and April 2020, an astonishing 2.4 million retail jobs vanished. And Europe isn't far behind, with 1 in 6 workers in retail or wholesale.
That's staggering. These jobs have always been demanding low wages, constant pressure, high turnover, not to mention working weekends. But now, with COVID and all its ripple effects, retail jobs are even riskier and less appealing to many people.
Yeah, we saw workers move away from stores either to other industries or to distribution centers, which aren't necessarily ideal, especially since warehouses tend to be far from city centers and much more physically demanding. For many women and older workers, it's just not a solid option.
Even when stores were finally reopening, it was tough out there with staff shortages, really impacting business recovery. I've read that some government support plans, plus the fear of catching COVID at work, only made the issue stickier.
I 100% agree. It's crazy how fashion retailers are now hiring faster than they have in a decade. But that alone doesn't explain the labor crunch. The deeper question is what's really happening to retail staff?
That's a solid point. And to build on that, why don't we look at how retail roles themselves are evolving? The days where a sales associate just sold products on the shop floor seem long gone.
So true, Maya. In the past, being a sales associate was pretty straightforward. Sell what's in the store. But now, with increased pressure and sky high expectations, the role has exploded in complexity. COVID accelerated this change. Employees are now multitasking more than ever and need even greater flexibility just to keep up.
That's so clear when you see what's expected today. Store staff aren't just selling anymore, they're preparing online orders, organizing curbside pickups, acting as tech support, and even becoming mini marketers for their brands on social media. It's a massive leap in responsibility.
Yeah, totally. And the frustrating part is they don't always see a pay boost for all this extra work. People are really getting stretched thin, especially when stores are under pressure to make every sale count.
You've got these employees caught between fighting to increase the company's turnover, defending their own commission, and feeling like online business is stealing their sales. That tension can't be easy to live with every day.
No, it can't. The shift to digital has created new friction on the shop floor.
Speaking of digital, let's talk about resistance to digital transformation. It's clear not everyone wants to or can adjust to the new demands.
Yeah, I get that. With all the pressure from online stores, it's tough for brick and mortar associates to keep up. They've gone from just texting VIPs to figuring out how to use platforms like WhatsApp, Instagram, and WeChat to connect with customers.
That's a lot to learn, and some retailers are adding even more technology. Like Neiman Marcus using Styliza software that recommends outfits based on the customer's purchase history. While it resulted in $60 million of incremental sales, some staff felt it devalued their expertise.
I hear you, Maya. That's definitely the case. The staff feels like their skills are being overshadowed by algorithms instead of being celebrated. But at the same time, these technologies can really drive revenue. Take Magasin du Nord, for instance. They launched a digital clienteling solution with Clientela to keep those personal shopping relationships alive, even from a distance.
Let's shift to money. It's always a part of the conversation. Pay in retail is notoriously low, but simply raising salaries isn't a quick fix, is it?
Not at all. Salary increases are difficult to reverse once implemented. Some big names, Walmart and Target, began increasing pay before COVID. Target went further during the pandemic, giving 6 rounds of bonuses since April 2020. Under Armour hiked its minimum wage, and Kohl's handed out loyalty bonuses to staff who stayed on long term.
That's a big step, but as you pointed out, you need to address commission schemes too, especially now that e commerce and in store experiences are blending.
Exactly. El Corte Inglés did something smart. They set up a system where staff get bonuses for preparing online orders in store, and commissions for those sales are assigned to the store. It helps everyone feel invested in the success of both channels.
That really changes the mindset from seeing e commerce as a rival to seeing it as an opportunity. Fnac Darty did something similar, didn't they?
Yes, they revised their incentive scheme, so associates now get the same bonuses whether they're involved with inventory, delivery, or sales on any channel. It's about recognizing the interconnected nature of modern retail.
Christine, why don't you talk to us about working conditions? The pandemic shone a spotlight on flexibility. Remote work became a lifeline for many, but it wasn't always possible in retail.
Now, while that may be true, some companies found innovative solutions. Take Madison Reed, for example. They created online color parties during the lockdown, which allowed their colorists to act as virtual consultants. Not only did they manage to keep all 100 colorists employed, but they've added 18 new positions since due to the increased demand.
That's a powerful example of turning a challenge into an opportunity. Apple's Retail Flex program is also catching attention.
Yes, you're right. Apple lets certain retail employees split their time between in store and at home work without sacrificing pay. They'll even cover some home office costs. It's a glimpse of what a new retail work environment could look like.
With all these changes, training is more important than ever. But in retail, it's often seen as more of a cost than an investment, especially when turnover is so high.
You're spot on with that. In the US, part time employee turnover reached 76% in 2019. But good training not only equips staff, it keeps them interested. At Trader Joe's, for instance, employees are expected to taste what they sell. That keeps their workdays from being boring and makes them much better at helping customers.
It's such a simple idea, but it pays off in employee retention. Sephora also has a standout program, from tailored development plans to micro learning and even classes at Sephora University.
For sure, Maya. At Intermix, they make it a point for every employee to sit down with the manager every few months to go over goals and chat about any roles available at headquarters. Those ongoing talks can really highlight talent, boost knowledge, and build loyalty so people start seeing retail as a career instead of just a job.
Many retailers are getting creative to bring workers back after so many left the sector during the pandemic.
Vashi, the British jewelry company, has taken perks to a new level: 29 days annual leave, free gym membership, mental health counseling, access to online physicians. The list goes on. It's the kind of package that makes people stop and say, why not retail?
That's a great point, Christine. And to keep up with younger workers, retailers like Hyundai Department Store are revamping their culture too.
Yes, Hyundai's move is a game changer. With millennials and Gen Z making up 80% of their workforce, they went fully digital. Even their reporting system now runs through messaging apps. That's meeting employees where they are and how they want to work.
Christine, as we wrap up, let's step back. COVID forced us all to think about the meaning of our work. What's your take on how retailers should respond to this new desire for purpose?
The pandemic has made a lot of people ask, what am I really getting from this job besides a paycheck? Engagement, career direction, empowerment, and community. These are the new essentials. Companies that offer more than just pay will stand out.
So, if you had to give one piece of advice to retailers fighting to attract and keep good people, what would it be?
Create an ecosystem, not just a job. Offer growth, recognition, community, and meaning, and you'll build real loyalty. People want to be proud of where they work and feel part of something bigger. That's how retail can win hearts and talent in the years ahead.
Christine, thank you so much for your insights and for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure discussing these crucial trends. I really believe that if our industry can stay open to change and keep people at the heart of strategy, retail can become one of the most dynamic and meaningful careers out there. And to everyone listening, your engagement in these conversations is part of what will drive that transformation.
Thank you to all our listeners for coming along on this deep dive into the future of retail careers. Remember, subscribe, rate, and share this episode with your team. For more exclusive industry updates, follow us on LinkedIn and Substack. Just search for IADS Exclusive Insights. Until next time, this is IADS Retail Park.